Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. It's your bro. It's your bro. It's your bro. It's your bro. Richie again. It's your bro. Richie again. So Richie again. Today in this video, I'm back with another car explanation video for y'all. Today in this video is gonna be a little bit of a different one. A little bit of a different video I'm doing. Today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about another different Cadillac. Specifically, today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the Cadillac Fleetwood. So this is gonna be pretty interesting, considering this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. I haven't been doing it. I just figured, why not? And so yeah. So before I start, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below, what you guys think. Hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the Cadillac Fleetwood. Cadillac Fleetwood. Here we go. So, here we go. So, the Cadillac Fleetwood's a full size luxury sedan. Luxury sedan. Luxury sedan. Say sedan. That was so full size luxury sedan. Luxury sedan. That was marketed by Cadillac from the 77 through 86 model years, taking its nameplate from a coach builder historically with the GM division. The Fleetwood became a standalone model in 1985. Over is next, so let's do it. Manufacturers obviously GM. Production between 76 and 96. Model years is from 77 to 96. So 77 to 96. Body and chassis next. The class is a full-size luxury car. The layout was transverse front motor front wheel drive for 1985 to 1990. So 1985 to 1992. However, the next one was a little bit better. It was a little bit better in the proper way than it should have been, because that next layout was front engine rear wheel drive. So rear wheel drive, perfect for 1993. So 1993 to 1996. So from 93 to 96. The successor was the Cadillac CT6. Which I might do a video on someday. I just don't know when, but at some point I might. We'll just see how it goes. Oh God. So I might do a video on the Cadillac CT6. I don't know. It's short for Cadillac Touring 6 technically. So successor was the Cadillac CT6. So taking its nameplate from a coach builder historically associated with the GM division, the Fleetwood became a standalone model line. So the Fleetwood became a standalone model line in 1985. So in '85, the Gen 1 Fleetwood. So the first gen Fleetwood was introduced for '85. So for 1985, the year the first Back to the Future movie came out, as the division downsized its full size C body platforms. So C body platform sedans to a front wheel drive layout. Really, I had to start with that. Come on, man, what's the matter with rear wheel drive? Are they just not keen on doing it at all, or just not keen on doing all-wheel drive as well? They have to just keep doing front-wheel drive Cadillacs? It makes no sense, really. I mean, come on. I mean, when you buy a Cadillac, it's all about luxury, and for that, you would want something, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. That way, it will just handle a little bit better. But front-wheel drive, you can barely put the power down, depending on how much power it would have, anyways. Depending on how much power it would have, anyways, from the front wheels. Really? Come on. I'll think twice if I were you for doing that. Anyway, so the Gen 1 Gen 1 Eldorado, not Eldorado, sorry. The Gen 1 Fleetwood, say Fleetwood was introduced for 1985 as the division downsized its full size C body platform sedans to a front wheel drive layout. Slotted? So it's down as the Gen 1 Fleetwood was introduced for '85 as the division downsized its full size C body platform sedans to a front wheel drive layout. Slotted between slotted between both the between both the sedan DeVille um and the 60 special. Excuse me. The Fleetwood um also bridged the gap the gap between both the DeVille between both the between both the DeVille and the 60 special. Wait. So the Fleet slotted between both slotted between both the sedan DeVille sedan DeVille and the 60 special. The Fleetwood also bridged the gap between both the DeVille and the D-body Fleetwood Pro-Am, which is known as a Cadillac Pro-Am, for 1987, say 1987 to 1992. The Gen 2 was introduced for 1993, replacing the Pro-Am as the D-body Cadillac sedan. The Fleetwood Pro-Am name became a trim option. After the 96 model year, Caddy discontinued the Fleetwood. So Caddy discontinued the Fleetwood line as GM ended production of full-size sedan lines in North America. GM consolidated Caddy's large sedan lines into the DeVille. So they consolidated Cadillac's large sedan lines into the DeVille series and later as the Cadillac DTS. So DTS, an initialism of DeVille touring sedan, which looks completely dull and bland. I mean, literally, if you search up Cadillac DTS, you would see what it would look like. Like, you would see what it would look like. My god. Well, some of them, eh, they look okay. Like, there's one known as the presidential state car, which that one looks pretty damn cool. Interesting. Okay, where was I? Okay, so wait, where was I? So oh, crap! Completely forgot where I left off to now. So slotted between both the sedan DeVille and the 60 Special. The Fleetwood also began no not began well. The Fleetwood also bridged the gap between both the DeVille and the D-body Fleetwood Brougham, known as the Cadillac Brougham, for 87 to 90 from the years 87 to 92. So it was around for 5 years until it ended in 1992. The Gen 2 was introduced for 1993, replacing the Brougham um, as the D-body um, Cadillac sedan. The Fleetwood Brougham name became a trim option. After the 96 model year, Cadillac discontinued the fleet. Cadillac discontinued the Fleetwood line. So Cadillac discontinued the Fleetwood line as GM ended production of full-size sedans, full-size sedan lines in North America. GM consolidated Caddy's large sedan lines, large sedan lines into the DeVille series, and later as the Cadillac DTS. Since 1996, the only longer wheelbase sedans produced by the division um produced by the division have been both the Cadillac CT6 and the Cadillac Celestique. spelled CELESTIQ. Next, we got as the nameplate. Well, the history of the nameplate. So history of the nameplate. So starting off with the first one is the background from 1916 to 1924. So, so, so history of nameplate. Starting off with the first one is background from 1916, 1916 to 1924. So it's for 8 years, something like that. Lawrence P. Fisher, I think it's Lawrence Philip Fisher, I think, I'm not too sure, was one of the seven brothers most closely involved with Cadillac. So most closely involved with Cadillac in its early years in 1916 he joined the FBC Fisher Body Company, which has been formed by two of his brothers in 1908. So in 1908, so that was around 217 years ago, something like that. So in 1916, he joined the Fisher Body Company, or FBC for short, which has been formed by two of his brothers in 1908. Larry, as people knew him, was instrumental along the Fisher brothers. Now I don't know what it means by being instrumental, like someone being instrumental. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, or like if there's like some meaning to it. I don't know. Not too sure. Anyways, so it was instrumental along the Fisher brothers in bringing the Fisher Enterprise under the GM umbrella in 1919. In May 1925, Alfred P. Sloan, not Sloan, Alfred P. Sloan, there we go, Alfred Pritchard, so Pritchard, P-R-I, so Pritchard, Sloan Jr., born May 23rd, 1875, in New Haven, in the city of New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut. Passed away at age 90 in New York City, the land of opportunity. On 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 February 17th, at age 90, on February 17th, 1966. So during like the mid late 60s. So he passed away in 1966. Just it doesn't say like from what, like from like how he passed away. But may rest in peace. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't correct brain with it, but that's the main one I think it might be. I'm not so sure, but oh well. Anyways, moving on. So, in May 1925, Alfred P. Sloan. So, Alfred Alfred P. Sloan. Wait, hold on. So, in 1916, he. You have to redo this. So, his history and nameplate background from 1916 to 1924. Lawrence P. Fisher. Lawrence P. Fisher was one of seven brothers most closely involved with Cadillac in its early years. In 1916, he joined the Fisher Body Company, which had been formed by two of his brothers in 1908. Larry, as people knew him, was instrumental along the Fisher brothers in bringing the Fisher Enterprise um, under the GM umbrella in 1990. Not 1990, sorry, 1919. There we go. So before the early 20s. In May 1925, so the mid 20s, Alfred P. Sloan, may rest in peace, God rest his soul, then the head of GM, appointed Fisher as a Cadillac general manager, an office he retained through 19 an office he retained through an office he retained through 1934. An office he retained through 1934. He immediately went to work adding exclusive custom bodies to the Cadillac range. Thus he oversaw the purchase of the FMBC, Fleetwood Metal Body Company, say FMBC. Then he oversaw the purchase of the Fleetwood Metal Body Company by Fisher in September 1925. 1925. The FBC, the Fleetwood Body Company, and so the Fleetwood Body Company, the Fleetwood Body Company of the borough of Fleetwood in Berks County, Pennsylvania. So Berks County, Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania, Amish country, Pennsylvania, I guess. So the Fleetwood Body Company, or the FBC of the borough of Fleetwood in Berks County, Pennsylvania. So the Fleetwood Body Company, or the FBC of the borough of Fleetwood, Berks County, Pennsylvania, was founded by Harry Urich. I can't pronounce it. So it was founded by Harry Urich. His last name was spelled Urich. In the 19th century, it began as a small community of craftsmen. It began as a small community of craftsmen. It began as a small community of craftsmen founded by Henry Fleetwood, ESQ, I don't know what it means in full sentence, of in Penwortham near Lancaster, England. The Fleetwood family flourished. The Fleetwood family flourished in the UK in both the 17th and the Fleetwood family flourished in the UK in both the 17th and 18th centuries. The tradition of 300 years of the traditions of 300 years of coach building, of, of coach building, of coach, of coach building that Fleetwood applied to its work on cars, secured, secured it, secured it a high reputation in automobile circles worldwide by the 1920s. Coach work was so circles worldwide by the 20s. Coach work was built by Fleetwood for various other luxury makes through so for various other luxury makes through 1924 through 1924. After the FBC purchased the Fisher Body Company, so FBC purchased the uh, FBC. So after the Fisher Body Company, says FBC number one, purchased the Fleetwood Body Company. FBC number two, so FBC number two, so it doesn't create like too much confusion. In in 1925, Fleetwood Fleetwood bodies um Fleetwood bodies were reserved Fleetwood bodies were reserved exclusively for Cadillac. By 1929, GM, so at the end of the 20s, almost the start of the very, so the end of the very late 20s, so the end of the 20s, before the start of the very early 1930s. By 1929, GM had purchased GM had purchased so they purchased the remaining shares of Fisher to be the sole owner of both companies. From 1927 through 1934, all Cadillac series offered Fleetwood bodies as an option. So all Caddy series offered Fleetwood bodies as an option. Speaking of Fleetwood bodies, we're on the next part, which is the Fleetwood bodied Cadillacs from 1935 to 1985. And that's the last part, and I'll end it there for tonight. After 1934, after 1934, so after 1934, so 1934, Caddy became more selective in offering Fleetwood Fleetwood bodies Fleetwood bodies for its chassis. By 1938, so 4 years later, the only way to obtain a Fleetwood bodied car was by buying either a Cadillac Series 75 or 90, as even the Cadillac 60 Special. So the Cadillac 60 Special has a so as even the Cadillac 60 even the Cadillac 60 Special, as even the 60 Cadillac 60 Special had a Fisher body in its inaugural year. Both the Fleetwood script and crest wouldn't be on the exterior of any Cadillac until the 1947 until the 47 until the 1947 model year, when it appeared on the rear deck lid of the 60 Special. 5 years later, by 1952, It also, by 1952, it also appeared on the rear decklet of the Series 75 during the early 50s. In 1957, during like the mid late 50s, the Cadillac Series 70 Eldorado Brougham joined the 60 both the 60 Special and the Series 75 as the only caddy models with Fleetwood as the only caddy models with Fleetwood bodies. Although either Fleetwood scripts or crests didn't appear anywhere on the exterior of the car. This was the first time in 20 years. First time in 20 years that a Fleetwood bodied car was paired with a Brougham name. The Eldorado Brougham featured Fleetwood branded wheel discs or wheel rotors, both that and dorsal moldings, dorsal moldings. So dorsal moldings when production was shifted when production was shifted in 1959 from the Fleetwood plant in Detroit, Michigan to uh, so when production was shifted in 1959 from the Cadillac Fleetwood plant in Detroit, Michigan. So from the Caddy Fleetwood plant in Detroit, Michigan to Pininfarina in Turin, Italy. So from America all the way to Europe and Italy. The identification was included, presumably because of the because of the because of the design work, since the final details for the car were still being done by Fleetwood. Production of the Eldorado Brougham ended in 1961, but in '63, 2 years later, the Eldorado Biarritz became Fleetwood bodied and acquired Fleetwood crests on both its rear quarters and rocker panel moldings. The 1963 Eldorado Biarritz was also the first Fleetwood bodied convertible since the Caddy Series 75. Since the Cadillac Series, so the '63 Eldorado Biarritz was also the first Fleetwood bodied convertible since the Cadillac Series 70 since the Series 70 since the Cadillac Series 75 stopped offering both four door and two door convertible body styles, and production of the Caddy Series 90. So Cadillac Series 90 ceased in 1941 during the early 40s. So in 1965, the Eldorado 60 Special and Series the Eldorado 60 Special so the Eldorado 60 Special and Series 75, so the Eldorado series, the Eldorado 60 special and uh, so the Eldorado 60 special and Series 35 models were designated as Fleetwood as Fleetwood sub as Fleetwood subseries, and this would continue through the 19 and this would continue through the and this would continue through the 1972 model year. So 3072 model year. During this period, there wasn't a separate Fleetwood series. However, Fleetwood became a much more integral part, much more integral part. So, so, however Fleetwood became a much more integral part, a much more integral part of the integral part of a Caddy series name in 19 in 19 so integral part of the Caddy series name in in 1972 with the intro of the Fleetwood Brougham and the Fleetwood Limousine, which replaced both the Fleetwood 60 special, both the 60 which replaced both the Fleetwood 60 60 special Brougham and which replaced both the Fleetwood 60 special Brougham and the Fleetwood 75 respectively, sorry, both that and which replaced both the Fleetwood 60 special Brougham Fleetwood 60 special Brougham and the Fleetwood 75 respectively. Last part, and I'll end it there for tonight. In 1985, Fleetwood became a separate series. Fleetwood became a separate series. Fleetwood became a separate series. Say a separate series. Okay. so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys so for my next Fleetwood so for my next Cadillac Fleetwood video will be about the front wheel drive versions. So the front wheel drive versions, which are the C bodies, say C bodies from 1980, so 1985, 1985, so 1985, so 1985 to 1992. Okay, so that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like it, subscribe, subscribe, comment down below, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Okay, let's see what the time is. I bet you it's gonna be 12. I just know it, because I mostly get to sleep at that time. Or I might be wrong. Hold on. Oh, 11:30. Not too bad. That wasn't far off. That was far off. Well, not that much, but oh, whatever. Anyways, guys. So I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe. stay safe, stay safe, have a great, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And also wish me luck when I head to vacation. But I'll be back soon, I promise you guys. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys soon. Good night. So good night, folks.